put these entitled bosses in charge? Probably themselves. Let's be wrong. Boss threatens to fire me for being sick. A classic tale. For context, I've been considering quitting for a while. I dealt with it for nearly a year. He treats everybody like crap and then blamed it all on his autism. He called me to cuss me out and threatened to fire me for being sick. Pretty sure that's illegal. Here's some texts. You have a choice to get to work or you're fired. Find a new employee, I quit. Fine, F you.
Very demure, very mindful.
Very professional. Very illegal. Boss used our work app to call out a single employee rather than discussing it in private. The door locking was directed at me personally because I locked the door early one time. We discussed it a couple days ago before he posted this. Was this the right way to go about things? Here we have the email, newsfeed, whatever. Straight talk. No one is owed hours. We earn those. Oh God. Red flag number 1. Once you are trained, guidance is on you. Look at that. Red flag number 2. Company does not owe you a meal. Shall we say? Red flag number 3. Never lock our company door early, period. That might be reasonable. There also is new rules on meals and sitting at the bar. Up to you to learn those. Okay. Red flag number 4. No, I don't think that's the right way to go about things at all. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for the very useful, detailed information. This was very helpful. I feel inspired and motivated to continue working for you. I'm a mid-level manager, and today my boss was complaining that 2 of our employees had to take a day off work this month to get their car fixed. It's not a trend, this rarely happens. Plus, we work desk jobs where time off doesn't really affect anything as long as we meet our deadlines. He then went on to say that these young kids in their lower 20s, making the least amount of pay because they're entry level, need to just buy newer cars.
That's a fucking brilliant idea.
He was saying it was irresponsible to have a junker vehicle. Then this past winter, I let some employees stay home when we had snowstorms because they lived literally on a mountainside and it wasn't safe. So he went on a rant about how they should just buy studded snow tires. Rent for a 2-bedroom apartment in this area averages $1,800 per month. I'm so jealous of that information. I have to continually remind him that a 24-year-old with a car payment and rent can't just buy a new car or a set of 4 new snow tires, let alone 24-year-old. Even some adults out there can't afford that, okay? Buy a newer car, buy new tires. You can buy me them. Sure, there's nothing irresponsible about having a junker car. The second one was like less of a junker car. Questionable. I've only ever had old used cars, you guys, my entire life, and I'm 32 years old. I've never owned a new car in my life. Ever. 32 over here, okay? Not irresponsible. Every car has got me from point A to point B, and I've accomplished what, I've needed to along the way. So, up yours. On that note, on a more positive note, let's hydrate, shall we? Take a sip of water, because you probably haven't. Probably been a little while, we're busy, you forgot. Cheers, hope you're having a good day. I live 40 minutes from the office, and in MN, we had a winter storm with blizzard conditions on two of the in-office days. I told my manager I would be working from home due to road conditions and days forecast. He responded 2 hours later with a screenshot of the MN 511 road condition app showing all green, saying the roads were fine. They were not. I live off multiple back roads and getting to the main roads were terrible. The passive aggressiveness by sending a screenshot pissed me off. Then Tuesday was supposed to be even worse, and it was. So I attempted to drive in, but turned around because of how unsafe the roads were. Almost slid off the road multiple times. Told him I tried to come in, but ultimately turned around and offered to take vacation. But he had no issue with me working from home that day. That's a classic tale too. I think we've all had a boss where it was, well, if you get snow in your area, if it was snowing, they still expected you to show up. And it's like, okay, but like there's a warning. Like they've issued a warning and told us that we should probably stay off the roads if we can. Especially if you have a job where you can work from home. Like, what do you mean? Absolutely not. I got my first full-time job at 18. Most of the people I worked with were lovely, and I'm still good friends with some of them now. But this one woman was horrible. She was about 6 years older than me and was supposed to train me. Whenever I did something wrong, she would get impatient very quickly. This went on for a couple years, and she would point out any little mistake I made. She was just generally rude. The vast majority of the abuse was aimed at me. It was so bad that I ended up having counseling over it. Oh my God, no job is ever worth that. I cried most evenings, but I was determined not to quit because of one person. She ended up taking sabbatical leave for a few months, and on her return, a lot of the team who did speak to her politely, now weren't so friendly with her. I remained as I normally did, but polite. I can't read anymore. Was polite, but avoided having much to do with her if I could help it. Each team member was pulled aside by management, so I had my meeting, and my manager started off by saying, I know you and so don't have the best relationship. The man knew this woman had been bullying me relentlessly for the best part of 2 years and had just ignored it. He had a separate office. Completely lost all respect for him then and there. Yeah, there are some people in life, jobs, family, any type of relationship that you just need to keep at arm's length, you know? Yep, just arm's length. But we don't gotta hate each other, you know? Maybe it's in here, but not out here, not affecting the workplace, the jobs, but I'm gonna keep you at arm's length because of how you treated me. Feeling petty. This should be fun. I recently left a restaurant I worked at for several years because I found out the owner was doing some shady stuff with pay, including paychecks bouncing and never being repaid, and pocketing a significant amount of tips from front house staff. I consider taking legal action since my coworkers and I likely lost thousands just in the year. Yeah, legal action. We knew it was happening, but I doubt it would get anywhere since we didn't document the pay discrepancies well enough while it was happening. If you feel so inclined, do my ex-coworkers and I a favor and leave a negative review on their Google review or other platforms. Just feeling spiteful, lol. Since there's not much more the original staff and I can do now, the link is below to their Google. Paul's of Oak Island. Thanks ahead of time, and there's the link. Yo, can I copy this link? No, I can't because it's a screenshot. I want to go to that link so bad. I want to see if people left reviews. Manager's shelf thing fell over and I noticed it after I clocked in. So I decided to pick up the papers and lift the shelf back up. I went to tell my manager that her shelf fell over and where would she like me to leave her papers. She ripped them out of my hand and started yelling, "Don't touch my, this is my store. I put stuff where I want." Then she handed me the papers. I asked what she wanted me to do with them, and she said, "Put them where you think they go since you know everything." Honestly, I think she did that because she's mad the store owner is very nice to me. Said I remind him of his daughter. She also keeps on saying stuff like, "This one is bad, keep an eye on her." She told me she wants to quit because I give her too much work, and talking bad about me in front of the owner. I've literally been working there for 3 weeks and I don't complain. Yeah, so sorry for picking up your shelf and paperwork that fell down. I think what you mean to say to me is thank you. And that's what I would have frickin' said to her. Don't let people treat you that way. Absolutely not, because the second you start accepting that behavior from them, they're gonna continue. Because you've accepted it and they think they can treat you that way. Oh, I'll put you in your place real quick. This was a while ago, but still an ass. This was after I called sick for the day, I think. I quit after this. You coming in? I'm at the hospital. My grandpa just found out he has stage 4 lung cancer. So you coming in or not? My mom has stage 4 in 80% of her body, so that's not an excuse to not come to work. Okay. Let's say both of them are telling the truth, right? Maybe you would be more understanding if your mom did actually suffer from something as horrific as cancer. Maybe you would have a little more empathy and be like, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry." In your head, it's like, my mom's gone through the same thing. She struggles with it. It's awful. I know the feeling to a degree. I apologize. So sorry. Like, you know, maybe just some sensitivity, some empathy. But no. My first job out of college was in sales, but it operated much more like a call center. Mistake number one. As a result of the high volume of incoming calls, every rep was required to be on the phone and at their desk at all times. That meant we had a bathroom request button on our computers. A what now? Anytime you'd have to use the restroom, you'd click the button, cross your fingers or legs, and hope for the best. The request got kicked up to my not so great manager, and 9 times out of 10 denied immediately. It's a hard no for me. That is a hard no for me. As an adult, we're sitting there requesting to use the bathroom? No. I'm not hitting that button. I'm getting off that freaking desk. I'm going. Well, you're not on the desk. You're on a chair. Joss. When I was an intern at a PR firm, my manager would make me run her personal errands, pick up dry cleaning, ship things, drive her and her friends to events, etc. She would get my attention by calling me intern. At more than one offsite team building event where alcohol was served, she not only pressured me to drink and made fun of me when I didn't give in, but she also told me at length about her recent sexual exploits with a married real estate agent. Needless to say, when they asked me to stay on full time, I politely declined. Probably a good idea. Yeah, wow, that boss gets real personal. Real personal, doesn't she? Ooh, we got some texts. If you don't come in tomorrow, you are fired. You ruined an opportunity here. I hope you know that. Blank put me on to cover your job all night, and you know I absolutely hate doing it. Don't ask for any favors from me again. I've just checked the cinema screenings and the Batman doesn't even show that late. You're just ignoring me. You absolute... I'm effing freezing here. No, forget this. You're fired. Don't come in tomorrow. You don't show me complete disrespect and force the managers to do the low-level work. You can go be lazy somewhere else. C-word. Wow. I couldn't give a shite if you fire me. I've just got off the phone with my boss from my second job who's agreed to extend my hours. You can shove your threats up your... It's my day off, you nutcase. My uniform and tools will be sent to head office in the post. Thanks. That's wild behavior from a manager. I hope that manager was fired. That's insane. You had to cover an employee on their day off? Oh my God. It's almost like that could be part of the job as a manager sometimes. We got some texts. I sound like Love Island if you guys watch that. I got a text. Good morning. Did you create an order for this week or an inventory? I'm confused. Was my position eliminated or not? Yes, but you did inventory and prepped an order on Sunday. Was wondering where it was, if at all. Bless your heart. You don't fire someone and then still contact them to ask questions about the job because you don't know. Thumbs up. 25 years in the kitchen, blank. Just thought you would have been professional. In 25 years, I've never had anyone fire me then expect me to still work. Absolutely. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.